Hey, welcome everyone. My name is JR. I'm the founder and owner of Business Leaders Network, where our mission is to build a community of emotionally intelligent servant leaders. And one way that we like to do that is through visibility, awareness, giving back to other entrepreneurs who are doing big things out in the world, making an impact to our society, and showcase about who they are and what they do and the impact that they're making. So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks a lot
Thank,
so much.
Hey,
So
thank
excited.
you.
yeah, thank
Yeah,
you,
well,
JR.
I'm glad that you guys are here. So we'll start with David, since I know he's no newbie, what I call a boot to speaking and being on a mic. So David, why don't you share a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making?
Yeah, David Chametzky. So what I do is I help people align their story with their brand. A lot of people think they have a brand, but it's more than colors. We align a brand, the story, and prepare you to get on stages and write your own book. And I'm not really a big compilation book guy, so I want you to have your own book, much like the book behind me that I actually got the first time I held it in my hands. I don't know if JR remembers, was in
Yeah.
December at a BLN event, and I cried. You know, the first time that you become an author is important, right? Like a parent, but the first time you have your own book with your name on it and speaking only your message, your brand, that becomes so much different. And that's what I
Yeah,
do. Is I help people. I do some ghost writing. It's all about the story and what everybody has a story and the impact your brand brings to you.
what inspired you to get started doing what you do?
Just some resources that I've had over when you and I first met, I was doing a lot of mental wellness, and people are a little less concerned about that, right? We all want mental wellness, but we don't want to go get it. We don't want to work for it. But when I started working with entrepreneurs, I had the skill set that I was able to storyline. I've been speaking for years on stages and teaching people how to do that. Get on a stage, give that story of who they are, because most people they'll only know one story. And then when you start talking to them, there's 15, 20 stories that are just as impactful. And that's what people want to do is see your most authentic self. You know me, I have my podcast, Peace, Love, and Bring a Bat. It's about being authentic today. And
Yeah,
that's what the bat is. It's not, and that's really what it is. It's all about that storyline and that through line of being who you are.
I love that. Stephanie, same question for you. Tell us more about who you are, what you do, and what's the impact you make.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lewis, and I'm the creator of NeuroDraw. NeuroDraw is a structured 4-point system that's based around a visual motor brain training system and therapeutic system for neurodivergent adults. Neurodivergent means autism, it means ADHD or both. That's called AUDHD or odd DHD, and I am odd DHD. I'm an odd DHD school psychologist and therapist. Um, this is a simple drawing technique that is based in neurology, neurolinguistic programming, pattern interrupts, micromeditation, and structured behavioral system. It creates actual behavioral change that is verified by MRIs, and it does it by building new neuron systems. Um, it works with neurodivergent brains in the ways that we do the best: visual motor processing, pattern recognition, and our associative memory. And the reason this is necessary is the biggest complaint we have about therapy is the need for language and the need for talking and emotional labeling processing on demand. I'm a psychologist and I'm a therapist, and I would go mute in therapy. I would make stuff up in the moment. And that's the number one thing that people like me talk about. And what NeuroDraw does is it takes all that away. There's no need for conversation, there's no need to label your emotions. Everything comes out directly through a pen. Well, you're drawing and once you get there, you've accessed your subconscious and you see it in front of you on a page. It's really cool to see. So it entirely bypasses all the yuck and all the static that is up here. That's the demand for language. And since that is the most difficult stuff, this actually makes therapy not only accessible, but far more successful. So, this matters be, sorry. Oh, Well, that went bad. I am sorry. So I work with adults over the age of 20. I'm glad you're smiling. That made me feel better, JR. Thank you. I work with adults over the age of I work with adults over the age of 25, some younger adults as well as some children, depending on maturity level and maturity level and intellect, basically. There, you need to be able to access your subconscious, meaning you do have to have some kind of around average or higher IQ in order for this to work.
Love that.
My greatest, I will say I have two of my greatest stories.
All right,
One
not right
was,
yet. We'll come back to we'll come back to
oh, I'm
testimonials in a
sorry,
minute.
I moved on.
You're okay. All right, Grant. Let's go
Thank
to the
you.
next. Let's go to the first question. Tell us more about who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making.
Yeah, perfect. So my name is Grant, and I'm the senior growth director at a company called Fanbases. And essentially, what we do is we're a software company with the most elite payment suite and infrastructure for any online digital business. Think coaching, mentorships, marketing agencies, really any info product per se, right? And what we've come to do is really replace the 5 to 10 tools that these online businesses have. So think funnels, courses, communities, payments, affiliates, financing, and webinars, and we've combined that all into one native platform for our clients to use, right? And truth be told, every feature on the platform exists to make our sellers make more money. And I absolutely enjoy what I do, taking sellers from, whether it be 10,000 all the way to 50,000, 50 to 100,000. My goal is to see sellers win. And, I really get joy in, kind of giving back and, helping them get to that next level.
Very cool. I love that. You're doing big things. Well, for me, my business is Business Leaders Network. Our mission is to build a community of emotionally intelligent servant leaders, and the impact we're making is I really believe that we are doing something different when it comes to networking, connections, referrals, and growth because we focus on education, visibility, and community for the everyday entrepreneur. And one thing when it comes to networking or connections is, and that people despise, and me included, is I hate going to networking events and walking away with a bunch of business cards and just be getting pitched to the whole time. Or you go to an event and the people that you were talking to aren't even the decision makers. And so one thing that separates us is you are only speaking to the business owners or the decision makers within our organization. And so we bypass the gatekeeper. We are no longer getting pitched at from every single person that's in the room, but we are there to serve first. I'm a firm believer that the more you give, the more you get back, and then the more you help people get what they want, the more you get what you want. And so we help build that culture within our community on what can we do for you type mentality instead of hey, buy me. And we don't want that. And so we give back a ton inside of our community by doing roundtables like this, by giving people a microphone to be able to share their stories, whether it's through one-on-one, in-person events, virtual calls, or whatever it may be, so that way we can help bring more awareness about what they do, but to serve them so we can all win and get what we want. So I love that. Grant, I'm going to start with you with the next question. Why don't you tell us one of your best client success stories?
Yeah, I mean, one of them, the more recent, actually, we just brought on a new financing lender called Clarity Pay, right? I had a client, he was doing, 10K a month. He's like, Grant, I can't get above that 10K a month. Like, how can you get me there? I was like, hey, we just got this new financing option. I think it's going to go work wonders for your business. Got him access to it. And over the last week, he's done $105,000. He called me the other day and he was like, Grant, you absolutely changed my business and changed my life. Can't thank you enough. So that's kind of one of many, stories that I hear, through my time at Fanbases, and it's truly special.
I love that. Changing lives and put more money in our pockets. I love that. David, I'm going to go to you next. Why don't you share one of your best client success stories?
Well, recently I'm just finishing up a book with somebody. I'm ghostwriting, but the alignment for this therapist, she's 90 years old. She had been wanting her whole life to tell her story. She's a Holocaust survivor. And once we started writing the book, and she was like, I have two books in me. So we're now turning it into a multi-book process because what it is once you learn your story and you feel comfortable, and because of that mental wellness background that I have, I'm able to get people to feel comfortable and get into their story, deep into their story. She started remembering things that she hadn't, and then looking at it and researching names. And I did some of the researching, and it all aligned to an incredible story that I can't wait to come out in the next 6 weeks.
Very cool. That's an amazing story. I love that. Stephanie, share one of your best client success stories.
Okay, thanks, JR. So to say that, so RSD is rejection sensitive dysphoria, and in terms of our population, that is the number one complaint we have. We have an 80% attempted suicide rate, as well as a 60% higher completed suicide rate than the neurotypical population. So it's also, I believe, responsible for the higher homicide rate that we have, as well as the higher murder rate that we have. Um, the best things I see happen in other people as well as myself is having relief from RSD, not feeling that way, not feeling suicidal anymore is huge. It allows us to have jobs, friends, marriages, relationships. It's amazing what happens when you don't see black, when somebody just looks at you the wrong way. RSD is a perceived reaction to perceived rejection. It doesn't have to be real. Somebody could just look at me wrong. They could be burping and I would take it wrong. That's how bad RSD can be.
Oh man, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Uh, for me, I want to share one recent one, and Grant, you were actually there. Is our event and that we just did in the DC area in National Harbor, and I want to share this because I love creating rooms where people get to connect and grow and develop relationships in there. But there was one particular person that when she was able to speak, she just told me today that she closed two new clients from that room inside of there, and so that was powerful experience. And I just love hearing that those type of opportunities within our organization. And like financially, it's great. It helped her, and she was excited about it. But for me, it's really about seeing how people are able to come together, connect, support each other. And the beautiful thing about our events is people came in from all over the country for a 1.5 day experience. And a lot of people struggle just getting people in their backyard to show up to an event. And yet a higher percentage, 80, I think it was 85 or 90% of the room all traveled somewhere. Grant coming from Florida, and we had people from Utah, we had people from Iowa, we had people from North Carolina and South Carolina, St. Louis, everywhere to show up to our experience. And so to me, that was a huge win, just seeing that business was closed, relationships were formed, all from one room and one experience. All right, the last question, Stephanie, why should someone work with you, and how can they get in touch with you?
Well, people should work with me if they are neurodivergent and they found that they're never really getting well, completely well, or well at all from traditional therapy or from medication, because medication is very, very limited as well. So this is something that is literally designed to work with our brain strengths while bypassing the two most difficult parts of therapy by bypassing those parts of the brains completely. And to get a hold of me, how do I do? I'm sorry. How do I do that?
You have a website or follow you on social media?
Okay,
Where's the best
I'm
place?
sorry, I do. The best thing to do. I apologize. The best thing to do is neurodraw-link/register, NEURODRAW.link/register, or you can send me a text at 302-402-5964.
Love that. Grant, same question for you. Why should someone work with you? And then what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, why someone should work with me is, if you're looking to make more money or at least have guidance on, how you can obtain that, I'm the perfect guy. Really, like I had mentioned earlier in the call, scaling offers is my forte. So you can reach me at Grant_Fehling, FEHLING 92 on Instagram. Otherwise, the best way personally, don't use social media as much as I should. Reach me at 612-280-2380. Simple text is fine.
Cool. I love that. David, same question for you. Why should someone hire you? And then what is the best way to get in touch?
Well, why they should hire me is because we all need alignment in our businesses. No matter what business you have, I have an expertise in legal as well as that. I'm not a lawyer, but I know how to align your story to your business to your brand. And that's when you align that way, you're telling that one message. There's always the North Star of for you and your business. And how they can contact me is look for David Chametzky. I'm the same person on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as my website is davidchametzky.com.
Love that. And for me, the reason why someone should join BLN is because they want to be in a community of servant leaders. They want to be in a community of people that want to get back first, and they want to get more referrals, more connections, and they want to grow their network. So if there are a business owner who is saying, "Hey, you know what? I need to expand my network. I want to be around amazing entrepreneurs." We have everyone from startups to making over $10 million in business inside of our community, and so there's just a ton of knowledge inside of that you probably would not have gained access to if you are not inside of our community. Best way to get in touch is through our website, blncommunity.com. That's for Business Leaders Network. It's blncommunity.com. Love to have you guys there. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on here today. And for all you listeners, if you heard something that you want to move forward with, have another conversation with, and be able to take it to the next level, I encourage you guys to reach out to all the individuals on this call, reach out to them, schedule that time to chat, and see what they can do to help you move forward to the next step. Until next time, Semper Fi.
Thanks a lot, JR.
Thanks, guys.